three-quarter time, 5-9, 39 points to Blackburn Tech. A 10-point deficit facing them in this last quarter with 7-7, 49 to Doncaster High. Play about to commence in the final term of the Herald Cup. Can Blackburn High bridge the gap? Service gets the tap. It's taken by Wannon. Puts it straight towards centre half forward. Brooker in the middle of the pack. George Ackles, wasn't George Ackles, it was DeSanto who eventually forced the ball out. Almost a good mark that time by Gentile. He recovers quickly, goes on after it, takes the risk and has a bounce in these slippery conditions. And eventually it's good, strong defensive work. And we find Neil Bennett putting the ball back towards the centre wing. Tapped over the top in good fashion by Blackburn Tech. And the loose ball goes out towards McCormack. Brendan McCormack, the left foot kick, thumped over the boundary line that time by Anadoli. And so the throwing will take place on half forward flank for Blackburn High. Blackburn desperate to get a quick goal. The bridge a little bit closer that gap. Over the back of the pack. Hewitson down towards the forward pocket. Over the boundary line it runs. So another throwing to take place, this time midway between half forward flank and forward pocket for Blackburn Tech. 7-7, 49 Doncaster High with Blackburn Tech on 5-9, 39. 1.5 minutes into this final term as we find that Richardson couldn't get the ball clear, and he gets good support from his co-defenders, and they once again force the ball over the boundary line for a throw-in. Mitchell it was who took the ball over the line at the throw-in. Payne in the front position. McCormack up high, doesn't get a clear tap. It's tapped through. Richardson's kick smothered off the boot. Mitchell picks it up, gets the hand pass over the top, almost goes to the opposition, but Mitchell recovers well. Gets the hand pass out to Spur. Good play. The hand pass comes back this time. Gentile couldn't quite gain possession. Forced forward and Whitby takes it. Over the shoulder, it comes in towards the centre. An opportunity. Service kicks the ball off the ground, goes after it again. Peter Moody's first on the scene. Tackled too high. They lose possession and is driven out wide. A long chase as Booker leads in the race for the ball. Gathers the ball in beautifully. Hand passes over the top towards Hewitson. Hewitson has plenty of time, runs his full distance. The left foot kick in towards centre half forward. It runs through towards McCormack. He recovers well, but got tackled beautifully. Moody comes through, loses possession. McCormack's there. A hand pass coming out. Tackled well and penalised, and will be penalised for holding the man. And Stephen Moody will take the ball away for his side.
Well, I didn't think the umpire would really miss that one, but I have thought generally, Bob, the umpiring tonight hasn't been up to the usual high standard. Let's hope in this last quarter it does improve. Drop mark there on that occasion by McCormack. The umpire's just letting things go. Wannon runs into goal. He's going to fall short. Oh, what a safe mark that time by Carl Skarts. Skarts, awkward looking kick. Short kick in towards the boundary line. We'll have a throw in.
You could say the umpires have been consistent in letting the game flow, Steve.
Yeah, they haven't played many free kicks, especially the ones that you would have expected. The throw in the forward pocket. Blackburn trailing by 10 points. Bridger goes for the big tap. Here's the chance now. The snap on the left foot. The umpire says out of bounds on the full. 16 minutes to go in this final quarter. Knockout competition for the Herald Metropolitan Cup. And this is the third week we've seen them, but there have been matches all around the metropolitan area over the past couple of weeks. Out towards the half-forward flank. Umpire certainly letting things go. Finally coming out with the ball is Richardson, and as soon as he came out with the ball, the umpire blew the whistle. Bounce on the half-forward flank for Blackburn Tech. They need 2 quick goals to take the lead. They've only kicked 2 goals in the last 2 quarters. Towards the boundary line, it is knocked by Servos, and there will be a throw-in. As we said, the ground in tip-top condition despite over an inch of rain last night. A number of these players wearing moulded soles, and of course with the dew coming down, making life very difficult indeed. Pushing the back. The umpire plucks out a free kick. It'll go to Blackburn. On the left foot, McCormick kicks it high. 3 or 4 players there, all wearing the green and gold. The umpire says no. It's slung back over the shoulder. Here's the chance. No mark. Wannan's in there, can't pick it up. Tight defence. The umpire will come in and bounce. Right on the edge of the square, Bob, and 10 points the difference.
And Blackburn Tech have done all of the attacking in this quarter, but unfortunately just cannot get a score on the board. They have a big opportunity now, only 10 metres out from goal. Bridger up high, goes to the opposition. Wannan's there, tries to get it clear, can't do so. Desperate defence down there. Hewitson coming through. Can he bring up another one? Hewitt snaps, but doesn't quite make the distance. And one mark right on the last line of defence is taken down there by Anadoli. No, yes, he hasn't paid the mark. Well,
he's calling the ball back again.
1 point. Kicked that time by Hewitson. In fact, I'd call it rush because it was a mark as far as I was concerned.
That explosion you heard behind us was Lou Richards slamming the door.
Bridger now putting the ball forward. No mark taken. A chance coming up. Blackburn Tech trying to pick it up. Picked up in fine style by Moody, and a beautiful kick. Gets it right out of the danger area. Marked in the centre of the ground. And we'll find the big opportunity as Shellard, Craig Shellard, puts the ball high and long towards centre half forward. A push in the back could not be missed by the umpire, and it will be taken down there by Gary Burke.
I thought it was going the other way too.
No, I agree with the umpire. Straight through the hands, that time of Robert Spur. Hewitson puts the ball forward.
Sandwich.
Hip and shoulder. Overrun that time, but picked up in fine style by Christensen. He forces the ball forward. Again forced forward by Moody. Free kick will be paid. Could maybe have penalised the side, but nonetheless, it was paid, and Brooker will take the kick.
Brooker sees a lead out to centre half forward. It's a woeful kick. Hits his opposing player in the head. Kicked off the ground that time by Bridger, back towards the centre of the ground. Shellard in there. Shellard again in the front position. Finally picks it up. Looks for the hand pass. It's a woeful hand pass. Hand passes it straight to a Blackburn Tech player in towards centre half forward, where the mark is dropped by Christensen. Hasn't been one of the best standard games we've seen all year, and it's kicked out by Anadol. Anadol towards the flank, and we'll have a throw in there on the half forward flank, and we'll see Doncaster high 7-7-49, Blackburn Tech 5-10-40, and we've been playing nearly 8 minutes into this final term. Player coming off down there is Craig Whitby. Knocked out again by Bridger, who's been a very good player tonight. That player going down there is Franco Lanza. Bit high, that one perhaps. The umpire says yes, and it will be a free kick to Brendan McCormick.
Good desperate play that time by Darren Mitchell, even though he gave away a free kick. A kick coming towards half forward. Bridger forces the ball down. Forced on that time, but this time the tackle must be too high, and it'll be taken by Troy Rowe. So it's Rowe, who I did call before as Stephen Moody. Rowe puts the ball forward. It could have been in the back against Peter Moody, but called play on by the umpire. Tap wide, comes back to Peter Moody. Chance of a score coming up here as the ball's running loose. It's taken by Lazia, and that's when he would have been better off going for along the ground, Steve. Where we had more control. We kicked the ball along the ground. It went straight off the side of the boot, and Eric Lazia brings up 1 point.
And they come straight back into attack. Blackburn not handling the ball very well at all. Wannon comes out with Hewitson. Tackles well. He's in all sorts of strife, that player. Wannon in there again. The umpire will bounce between the wing and half forward flank for Doncaster High. They lead by 10 points. There's 10 minutes to go. And as we said a second ago, Blackburn need 2 goals to get in front, and they haven't scored 2 goals in the last quarter and a half. Hand pass by Shellard. Here's the opportunity now. Lined up. Distance too great. and the ball pushed out of bounds on the full. The free kick will go to the centre half back for Blackburn Tech in Gary Burke. There's the offender, Steve Bridger, who, Bob, I think's played a pretty good game.
Yes, he has done well, Steve. A lovely pass from Burke. Finds his teammate. Servos tried to tap the ball back. Picked up well by Brooker. Brooker forces the ball forward, slipping and sliding. And we find Blackburn going up towards the forward area. It's a two-out duel. Swartz throws the ball out. Could be a great snapshot that time by Christensen, but forced through for 1 point that time by Andrew Crawford. And it's 1 point to Blackburn Tech. Christensen saying, where was everybody? And there's the board. 9 points to margin. 7-8 to 5-11. As the short pass comes out, and it's taken down there by Andrew Crawford.
Been a pretty consistent player right through the game.
A beautifully placed kick. And it's picked up by Tim Wendell. Wendell puts the ball around, and Bridger. He's played a superb game. So too has this player, Stephen Moody. Short pass.
Oh, free kick downfield. Moody collected after he got rid of the ball. Foolish play. And exactly what his side didn't need. Now Craig Shallard with a set shot. The distance should be too much for him, I would imagine, Bob.
I would imagine, Steve, but he should put it right up towards the square nonetheless. It's a beautiful kick. A glorious kick, in fact. I did agree, Steve. It was an absolutely glorious kick, that one, and delighted they might be. That Craig Shallard. And
there they are, the boys and girls there. Those girls holding up that sign look mighty happy, and I don't blame them. And I hope when Craig Shallard's watching this on Saturday morning on Channel 7, he accepts our apologies for doubting his ability. But that could be just the sealer, the 15-point margin. And he kicks Doncaster High's 8th goal. And the Blackburn Tech supporters around us looking a little bit down in the mouth. Pushed out. Rowe on the left foot, kicks it high out towards the flank, just over the head of Craig Richardson, doubles back nicely, gets the long hand pass in. Shallard again, is it? Kick for goal. I think his accuracy will let him. No, through for a behind. And Craig Shallard, two vital pieces of play. Good play by Craig Richardson, good play by Troy Rowe, and 16 points the margin.
And Blackburn Tech putting it back into play once again. Oh, lovely mark that time by George Ackles. It's been played the other way. Well, I'm getting a bit confused here. Maybe our director, Peter Bentz, being an umpire himself, can let...
I don't think he's got any idea either, Bob, because he keeps asking us for interpretations as we see a mark taken by Dave Murnagh right on centre wing position. And Doncaster looking pretty good at the moment. The moment you say that, of course, though, Blackburn will kick 3 quick goals. Towards the boundary line, he pushed over the line, will it? No, kept in play well by George Ackles. George Ackles' pass is a beauty. Finds his teammate over there, looks like number 20 in Bridger. Bridger lines up, offline, through for a minor score, 1 behind, and 17 points the difference. And Bridger has rucked well all night. Looks like Troy Rowe lying down there on the ground. There's Lou Richards, you see behind us, not Normie Rowe, Troy Rowe. Andrew Crawford comes into goal and tapped through. That makes it 3 goals the difference, and that'll be very, very hard to catch in the next 6 minutes and 15 seconds.
Well, when you consider that Doncaster, Blackburn Tech, I should say, had 5 goals on the board at half-time, have not kicked a goal since half-time, then 3 goals in this last 6 minutes of play. Looks a little bit beyond them, but they've got an opportunity now as the loose ball is picked up. The short pass comes in towards the centre of the ground, a beautifully placed kick, and it's taken down there by Andrew Grace. Grace, another loose player.
A little bit of a nudging match back on there in the centre. And the players dragged away and the ball kicked over the boundary line. With 5 minutes to go, I agree, Bob. I think the game's all but over. You might like to, we haven't had a chance in recent weeks to whip through both sides and just pick out a couple of players we could watch in weeks to come and in under-19 matches in the years to come.
Well, looking at Blackburn Tech, this will probably be the last time we will see them. but Wannon has done quite well. Hewitson with 5 goals has been a fine player, and they're certainly not giving up. They've attacked for most of this quarter, but one can't take anything away from Doncaster High. That time it was Lanza who took the mark, and he's done quite well. Brooker has been a fine player, no matter where he's been, on the ball or down up forward. The umpire has no option but to bounce the ball. But we find Christensen a good player on the wing. Evans a solid defender. McCormack quite good. And I think that Michael McCormack was obviously injured, Steve, so a little bit unlucky for Blackburn Tech. But one, as I said, could not deny the great effort put in by Doncaster High. They certainly have not been the most skillful side that we've had, but they've been a great team side. Swartz has done well at fullback. Richardson has been a good player on the ball. Moody, a superb player around the packs. Anadoli has tried hard. Darren Mitchell is a rover. Murnar. Cernos has not given up as a ruckman right throughout. Shellard at centre-half forward has played well. And Peter Moody with his 3 goals. Michael Gentile with his 3 goals. And Stephen Bridger has been a great player no matter where he's played.
I agree with you about McCormack. We saw him do a couple of things early. I'd like to have another look at him and see him playing in top flight, because he's obviously, or in my opinion, is the most skillful player out there. But his injuries early on haven't helped, and I think that Blackburn Tech fell in a heap when they saw him limping around. It's a good mark taken down there by Gary Burke.
He's done quite well too.
He has played well. He's kicked out wide, uses the ball well, finds Tony Peaver. Peaver gets around his opponent well, uses a bit of pace. Let's have a look at his pass. Is a good one. Finds Darren Evans. Evans had started at fullback. He's now on the half-back flank. Runs around his opponent. Long drop punt down towards centre-half forward. And the man in front taking the mark. Surely, umpire. And that's the way it'll be.
He's played a superb game.
Yeah, and this is Hewitson, who's kicked 5 goals. And that's a fantastic kick. Could be 6. Will be 6. It's a great goal. Longest goal of the night, and brings up Ashley Hewitson's 6th goal. And Bob, in the years we've been doing the Herald Sheild and Herald Cup, it's the first time I can recall one player kicking his entire side score.
Yes, I think a couple of occasions Assumption College forwards may have been very close to it. One, Simon O'Donnell, who is about to embark on a trip to England.
Ray Power.
Where you'll be seeing Simon O'Donnell over there, Steve. But nonetheless, it's been a great effort by Hewitson, but I don't think enough to bring it out. But nonetheless, they've got 2.5 minutes left to play. This is driven long and high with a good mark in defence taken by Eric Lazier. Lazier elects to go for the long kick. Slightly off the side of the boot, but still covers a great deal of distance. Mitchell picks the ball up. The hand pass across to Crawford. Crawford's kick up towards half forward. 2 players collide for Blackburn Tech. Good, strong defensive work by Bennett as he gets the ball up to McCormack. Misses the sitter, then tackled too long, it should have been, but called play on by the umpire. Picked up by Crawford. He breaks the tackle, recovers beautifully from the centre of the ground. Crawford goes straight down the ground. In defence, it's Burke. Steadies, puts it out wide where Wannon is all on his own. Time running out though, 1.5 minutes left to play, and they've got a 12-point margin as Wannon steadies, puts the ball short, too high for his teammate. Overrun, solid defensive work. Moody comes in. Moody goes for the short pass. In fact, doesn't go for the short pass. He goes for the short one to the boundary, but it's just over the line on the full, and the free kick to be taken down there. No, it was not by Wannon. It'll be taken by Christensen.
He's right on the centre wing position. Just over a minute to go, and Doncaster well and truly into the next round of this competition, the Herald Metropolitan Cup. Bit of awkward, scrambly football. As I said, it hasn't been a great game tonight, but full marks to Doncaster for fighting back as Moody kicks out towards the half-forward flank. They can just let time run out, let the clock tick over, because in 45 seconds' time, they're going to be the victors and into the next round. And what a thrill it is to play out here on VFL Park under the big lights. 8-11, plays 6-11. Bridger in there. Here's the opportunity. Oh, that was very, very hard knock to the head, that one. A lot of arm in that one. Not a particularly nice piece of football that late in the evening. And down on the ground is Robert Spur. And I think we can do without those sort of heavy bumps. And here comes the countdown. 5 seconds to go. The final siren will come up with Doncaster High, 8:11.59, running out comfortable victors over Blackburn Tech, 6:11.47. And we're past siren time. Here it is now. The umpire hears it. And Doncaster High come out victorious by 2 goals. And, Bob, until next time,
Thanks very much,
have a
Steve.
good Easter.